League football is back in Scotland this weekend, so in this video, Football Manager 2023 is going to be predicting the 2023-24 league season in the SPFL. You can ignore this date in the top right corner. All the squads have been updated, as have the leagues. Dundee are in the Premiership. Dundee United relegated to the Championship, obviously. Then we have Cove Rangers relegated to League 1, Spartans in League 2, and Peterhead and Clyde both in League 2 as well. The European competitions have been updated. As you can see, Hibs in the Conference League and not knocked out by an Andorran side yet. And at time of recording, all the transfers are updated. Now, of course, there will be more transfers even between now and the start of the league season at time of recording. But I can't tell the future, so this is what we're doing as of Wednesday night. Ramadani's not officially left yet, so he's still here. Esther Sockler's in here too. Likewise, Dundee have the two Mexican chaps. And of course, Marley Watkins is at Derek McInnes's Kilmarnock. But to be fair, I could have predicted that happening. What I'm trying to say is, everything's up to date as of now. So no more messing about. Feel free to let me know all of your predictions for what we cover in the comments down below. And first up, let's have a look at the Cinch League 2. I should also mention, of course, that as teams still are able to sign players, well, they'll be allowed to do so in this simulation. But Football Manager predicts that Stenhousemuir, oh my goodness, will win the league on goal difference by 1 goal over Dumbarton. Thankfully for Dumbarton fans, they will still get promoted via the playoffs. However, that would make for a very, very entertaining race. And I tell you what, between Peterhead and Forfar and East Fife arguably for the playoffs as well, that would be a very, very tight race towards the end of the season. That would be very, very exciting. Football Manager predicts that Spartans will come up into the league for the first time and do fine, absolutely fine. Mid-table, bang on 6th, and not get relegated as well. Stranraer will stay in the league via the playoffs. That was difficult. And Football Manager predicts that it will be Albion Rovers that miss out on promotion to League 2 with Stranraer staying in the league. Albion Rovers not going to get promoted, but would do better than the Highland League side, whoever that may be. And according to Football Manager, Matt Yates will be the man to lead the way. In fact, if he hadn't scored just one of those goals for Stenhousemuir, then the league title might have gone Dumbarton's way. Michael Ruth, not good enough, unfortunately, for Dumbarton, only scoring 13 goals, with Darren Watson stuck in between on 14 goals. Spartans, James Cragen predicted to do very well in the league with the most player of the match awards. Is that Darren Jameson of Stenhousemuir? The most clean sheets? It is. And the rest of the statistics look like this, and no surprise that Ross Draper predicted to have the most yellow cards in League 2 football. Some things never change. FM also reckons that Annan will go straight back down to League 2 following their promotion via the playoffs. In fact, not even close. 10 points adrift of Kelty Hearts, who also got relegated, as we know. Falkirk finally out of League 1. Not as champions, but I mean, it took them long enough. They'll go up via the playoffs. A lot of both winning the league and playoff teams getting promoted, which would be exciting if that was to happen this season. Cove Rangers predicted to be very, very mid-table upon their relegation, along with Hamilton, who were in the playoffs but missed out on promotion, and Queen of the South predicted to go back to the Championship. About time for them, I suppose, because League 1 far too low a level for the Queens. Is that what they're called? I don't know. I think it's just Queens. Mitch Megginson, though, 17 goals for Cove Rangers, not good enough to help fire them into the promotion contention. However, decent. Likewise, Jason Naismith, a very good performance for him at Cove Rangers. As you'd expect, he's played at a much higher level. Reece Lyon of Kelty Hearts with the most assists, despite the fact they got relegated. Paul McGowan, though, a good acquisition for Cove Rangers, it would seem. 8 assists. Again, he's played at a higher level. That Cove Rangers money coming in clutch, but not good enough. Ryan Duncan ended up on loan at Queen of South in League 1, given the fact he's been featuring for Aberdeen quite a lot in pre-season and a lot at the back end of last season. That seems unlikely, but Football Manager can't do everything right. The most clean sheets, Queen of the South, Murray Johnson on loan from Hibernian. he's a good young goalkeeper. He will do well for them and perhaps could help fire them to the title. And the most yellow cards, a Falkirk player. So congratulations, promotion and shithousing bastards. What more could you want? Now, the championship, I'm not so sure of because Partick Thistle got relegated. They apparently wouldn't have dealt with the playoff problem they had last season very well and just go, no, wow, I don't even want it. Oh, more playoff trouble. Okay, perfect. Relegated via the playoff to League One with Falkirk going the other way, Airdrie finishing stone cold last, and Arbroath living to fight another day. Dundee United predicted to be the winners of the league at seemingly a bit of a canter. You'd expect that given their budget, but given the fact they've got Jim Goodwin in charge, anything's possible. They could be in League One in the 24-25 season. Wraith predicted to do very well. Dunfermline predicted to do well on their return to the Championship too. Both of them probably have a decent chance of getting promoted via the playoffs in real life. Both two good squads. And I think it's time there's a Fife club in the Premiership once again. It's been too long. They're both well supported. I would like it. Plus, my missus' family is from Fife, so it would be a visit and an away day in one. Perfect. Two birds, one stone. Michael McKenna of Arbroath predicted to be the man to fire them to safety, at least with 16 goals. And then Ayr United with the next two goal scorers, Lewis Jameson and Mark McKenzie. Apologies, I had to check who they were. Glenn Middleton carrying Dundee United to the title with Shady Mo on loan at Ayr United. Again, unlikely that he'll go out on loan, I feel like, this season, given the fact he's featured a lot under Barry Robson in pre-season. Maybe this is his redemption arc after he secured the signing of Leighton Clarkson for us. Dylan Easton performing very well. He is a fantastic player. Scored, I believe it was him that scored in the Fife derby I took in the League Cup. A very good player nonetheless. Most assists, Andrew Murdoch. I'm going to presume Andrew Murdoch. Dylan Easton there in second, and B. Dempsey in third. Player of the match, Oluwayemi on loan from Celtic. Yes, I'm familiar with his work. He ended up staying at Celtic in my last video. Check out the problem that caused. After this one, via the end screen. Thank you. But he was very good. The most player of the match is next Shady Mo and Glenn Middleton. Most clean sheets, Oluwayemi. Mark Ridges performing ever so well. Dundee United starting with Jack Walton over Mark Birighitti. And, well, who'd have thought that would be a good idea? Yeah, Football Manager, sometimes unrealistic, but in this case, very. Stuart Bannigan, the most yellow cards. Adam Muirhead. Partick Thistle were dirty bastards and still got relegated, so good. Up yes. Now, Football Manager does predict that Arbroath will get some silverware and win the SPFL Trust Trophy. Won by Hamilton last season beating Wraith Rovers in the final. And Arbroath staying in the Championship and getting some silverware because Dick Campbell is that guy. Cove Rangers getting to the final. Oh my goodness, wow. Playing at a decent location for it, for two clubs that are relatively close, playing at Tannadice. Unbelievable stuff, but penalties was enough for Arbroath to win the SPFL Trust Trophy. Now, let's have a look at the Cinch Premiership. Well, this would be interesting. Football Manager reckons that Rangers will win the league once again on goal difference by one singular goal. Celtic in second. That would be exciting. Terrible because it's still one of them winning it, but exciting nonetheless, and a little bit different than one of them just running away with it because the other one's been a bit meh, but still miles better than the rest of us. So that would be exciting with Hibernian under Lee Johnson finishing third. 1 point ahead of Motherwell. Once again, exciting, but their game probably wouldn't be shown on TV because it would be Celtic or Rangers. Regardless, a very good season for Motherwell, which I'm not sure of. I think they could be top 6, but fourth would be very, very good for them. Heart of Midlothian dropping down to 5th and not in Europe, with Livingston in the top 6 as well. Aberdeen 8th, but in the Europa League, which would mean they'd have won the Scottish Cup. And I don't know about you, even though it would be a terrible league season, being in the group stages of Europe and winning the Scottish Cup, something we've not done in my lifetime, and then qualifying for guaranteed group stages next season again, even though we've been terrible in the league, I'd be all over that. I'd accept that right now. Not very ambitious of me, But a Scottish Cup and more European football sounds perfect. Anyway, but less about my fantasies. Football Manager predicts that St Johnstone will get relegated by 5 points behind Dundee and Kilmarnock. Dundee, who will survive via the playoff. I think that's harsh. Tony Dock has done some very decent recruitment, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot to be seen about the Mexican fellas. Bit of an unknown quantity. Could be brilliant, could be terrible. But I like what he's done. I don't think they'll finish 11th. I think they'll be comfortably safe mid-table, and maybe they might sneak into the top 6, depending. And it'll be interesting to see Dundee actually stay in the league after getting promoted. Can't believe Aberdeen won the Scottish Cup. Let's see who won the League Cup, and who did Aberdeen beat in the Scottish Cup? They beat Rangers in the final. Rhys Williams got sent off after 8 minutes, and Bojan Miovski scored in the 26th. After seeing that, yes, I would absolutely take this exact season right now. Calum was on the bench. They signed a new goalkeeper. What? Why did they do that? Calum is good. Where's he from? Slovenia. We do enjoy our Central/Eastern Europeans, so you know what? It does add up. It does add up. And the League Cup was won by Hibs, a trophyless season for Celtic after Hibs won it on penalties versus Celtic. That would be a very, very exciting season, as well as Hibs finishing third as well. Decent by all. Evan Ferguson's on loan at them. Right, this whole thing's a bogey, but it's a bit of fun. Unrealistic, that explains why they did so well. Regardless, 2-2, 1 on pens. You like it, Hibs fans? Apparently Alexis Sanchez is going to sign for Celtic as well and score 14 goals. Good for him. Evan Ferguson, second top goal scorer with 11. Then Sam Lammers of Rangers with 10. Rangers absolutely smashing it on the average rating front. Fair play. Atzir Illaramendes is here. 34 years old. Okay, Brodge, you do whatever you want. Leila Barra was very good, as was Shamal George, with joint most clean sheets with new Rangers number 1 Jack Butland, and Andy Halliday getting 11 yellow cards for Hearts. The only surprise there is the fact he was on the pitch 11 times to get 11 bookings. Now, I may have forgot to record this when I was actually recording the video itself, so I thought I'll tell you now. Aberdeen made it to the Europa League group stages but were knocked out, finishing bottom of the group, meaning they didn't go into the Conference League. Celtic were also knocked out of this rather tough Champions League group. They finished bottom too. Hearts had an absolute stinker and didn't make it to the group stages of the Conference League, but they did play Partizan Belgrade and were knocked out on penalties. Their Edinburgh counterparts Hibs were not much better, but were knocked out in their second qualifying round that they played, the third qualifying round in the Conference League. That was easy to follow, I'm sure, by Bodo Glimt. At least it wasn't an Andorran side. And Rangers did not make it to the Champions League group stages. They went into the Europa League, which they managed to get through their group, a group that contained Liverpool, before being knocked out by Copenhagen in the first playoff knockout round. Again, easy to follow. Anyway, on with the video. Just gonna have a look at some of the transfers so we can see what the hell's gone on, essentially. Rio Hatate left for Spartak Moscow. Rangers spent 4.5 million on this guy. Yeah, looks quite good. Barry Mackay's left Hearts to go to Aberdeen. Alex Vidal was signed by Celtic at the start of the season, sold in January immediately. Ismaila Soro's gone, Ayeti's gone. Stephen Davis has gone to Shakhtar. Angus MacDonald, after signing a new contract just a few months ago, has gone to Dagenham and Redbridge along with Jordan Hawula. So, absolute nonsense is what I can conclude from this. So, I'll give you a little bit of my predictions. Now, in terms of League 2, League 1, my knowledge is limited. So, yeah, I reckon Stenhousemuir could win the league. Okay, there is a very good chance that Annan go back down. I don't think Kelty Hearts would get relegated. However, the team to win the league out of Queen of the South and Falkirk, it's probably a toss of a coin, but I feel like Falkirk need it. So, Falkirk fans, you're winning the league next season. This season. What is it? It's probably this season at this stage. I think Airdrie could get relegated. I also think Arbroath could get relegated. Potentially both with one of them via the playoff. So I'm going to say Airdrie to finish bottom, Arbroath to finish second, them to go down to either Queen of the South or Falkirk. Dundee United, realistically, absolutely should win the league. They've recruited okay, but Jim Goodwin PTSD, so I'm not sure. I'm going to say Dundee United will win the league. They won't stroll it, but they'll win the league and get promoted and bounce straight back. And Wraith Rovers are not only going to win the SPFL Trust Trophy, but they might get promoted as well. Don't shoot the messenger. I think they'll get promoted. That means 2 teams would get relegated from the Cinch Premiership, and I think St Johnstone are definitely going to be one of them. And I think it might be Livingston's time. David Martindale has been complaining all year long about the budgets. All year long. Well, all 2 months long about the budget. I think it might be finally time for them to go bye-bye. And, well, I wouldn't be sad to see the back of it. One of the worst away days for me, personally. Nothing near them. Terrible pitch. Doesn't even suit all weathers. So, Livingston and St Johnstone, Doon. Oh yeah, and Celtic will win the league. Celtic win the league, Rangers second, Aberdeen third, Hearts fourth, Hibs fifth, because Lee Johnston's a bit mental, and the Heart situation's a bit mental, but they're still quite good. And the Reds, I've got faith. I would say Celtic will win the League Cup, because they always win at least something, usually, don't they? However, Aberdeen are going to win the Scottish Cup. It's about time, isn't it? I just want to see us win it once in my lifetime whilst my dad's still here. And this is the season, alright? This is the season it's going to happen. Finish third, win the Scottish Cup. There, I said it. Now, you may disagree with my predictions, you may disagree with Football Manager's predictions, and that's okay, but let me know your opinion in the comments down below. What do you think's going to happen? Are you excited? If so, leave a like on the video, and if you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. We're dropping bangers every single Thursday. Get those notifications on so you don't miss it. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. None of this is going to happen because everyone's going to move, but take care.